Good morning, Foley High School. Will you please stand for a moment of silent meditation and remain standing as we honor our nation in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. And now, join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Foley High School. Welcome to the Lion Pride News Network. Good morning, I'm Logan Lane.
And I'm Tiara Rowell.
Before we jump into announcements, let's announce those birthdays for today. Today's birthdays are Aaliyah Knight, Jay Metz, Sam Heinen, Josh Maliska, Socrates Diaz, Sierra Bowman, Amy Miller, and Laura Cassiano. Happy birthday to you all. Now, let's get started with today's announcements.
All students interested in taking the BSAT need to see Ms. Loris in the AP Academy before Friday, September 20th. The cost is $16. Sophomores and juniors are encouraged to take this test. This test is a wonderful practice for the ACT or the SAT. Also, any junior wanting to compete for the National Merit Scholarship must take this exam. Any questions, you need to see Ms. Loris.
Here we have the College Board. Ms. Flores will be putting up new information about the colleges, so come by the freshman office today.
Homecoming 2013 shirts are now on sale. Get yours from Miss Anderson in room 402. The cost is $14. If you are interested in submitting a design for the shirt, please stop by and see Miss Anderson for the details. Design submissions are due by the end of the school day on September 5th.
The Robertsville Pep Rally will be held on September 6th. Freshmen and sophomores will team up and juniors and seniors will work together as well. These two teams will compete against the faculty. Freshmen and sophomores sign up with Miss Dossett in room 921, juniors and seniors with Miss K in room 207, and all faculty members that would like to compete can see Miss Porter. The deadline to sign up is Friday, so hurry up and get your dance thing on.
And now a special announcement from our wonderful principals here at Foley High.
Good morning, Foley High School. We have enjoyed our last week and a half. I wanted to get my administrative staff together to discuss several issues with you. Sometimes we do this in the gym, but we thought we'd do it electronically with the Lion Pride News today. You freshmen and maybe any new students, I want to introduce my staff. To my far right, we have Mr. Tucker, we have Ms. Harrison, and we have Mr. Wilson, and I am Mr. Moore, your head principal. We're very glad to have you with us, new students and freshmen in particular, and of course all you old folks, we're glad to have you too. We're going to go over several issues that you need to be aware of what our expectations are. I'm going to start with Mr. Wilson.
Welcome back. Just want to say that to everybody. The beginning of the school year has been going really good. I appreciate that. Just want to go over a few things with you real quick. First is more for seniors and juniors. We're going to talk about the parking lot real fast. If you have not gotten your parking pass for your vehicle, you need to do so as soon as you possibly can. There'll be a day next week where we'll be out there and turning you away if you do not have your parking pass, so make sure you see Ms. Dean about that. The speed in the parking lot, guys, make sure to watch that. You know what you're doing. Don't cross over the parking spaces, things like that. Stay north and south in that parking lot. When we're out there in the morning time, we ask you to get out of your vehicle. Do so in a timely manner, and we'd appreciate that. To move on, we'll talk about the cafeteria real quick. Last year, you guys did a really good job. The administrative staff won't be in there as much as we were last year. We'll still be popping in and out. We need you to keep that cafeteria clean. When you're leaving the tables, pick your stuff up, guys. You know that. Take pride in your school and take care of the cafeteria. Another waste coming in behind you, and it needs to be left in a good shape for that. Tardies to school. Different from last year, we're not going straight to homeroom, we're going straight to first block. So when you're tardy to school, you're interrupting a core class, which is for credit, you need to get here on time. There's going to be very little leniency with tardies to school. We're going to put you in OCS, your juniors and seniors, some of you sophomores that drive, we'll take your parking passes away from you. So we really got to concentrate on that. When you get up to about 4 tardies, I'm going to start talking to you, and we're going to call home and talk to your parents about why you're tardy to school. So please take care of that, guys. Let's get here on time in the morning. Something else that's coming up pretty soon, most of you upperclassmen have your IDs on your book bags. Freshmen, we have a new ID badge maker. We'll be taking your pictures very soon and getting you a new ID for your book bags. We're also, students, everybody will have 2 IDs this year. One will be attached to your book bag at all times. The other one will be used for the cafeteria. And let me explain that. There's a barcode system on the number pad that you will use with your ID badge. You will now scan it. Once everybody gets their ID badge, you will now scan your card on that number pad. You will no longer put your number in. That we will let you know when that starts. Now when we start that, if you do not have your ID badge to scan, you will go to the back of the line. That keypad will not be used until everybody with their badge goes through the line. So that encourages you to make sure you have your ID badge on you at all times. If you lose your ID badge for any reason, it's $1 to replace that. We'll talk about those procedures a little bit later on. Other than that, general discipline practices. Guys, be in class. Don't skip classes. If you need to go home or if you need to check out, go to the office or come to one of us. We're very understanding about certain situations that are going on that you might have. So come to us, please. That's probably one of the biggest things we dealt with last year for students skipping classes. 99% of you got caught, so there's really no reason to do it. Other than that, looking forward to a great year, very positive year. If you have any questions or concerns, please come see me. My door is always open to you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Tucker, you got a couple of things?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say welcome back to Foley High School to those who have been here, and we're glad to have the new students, both freshmen and upper level, who have come to us, and we welcome you to Foley High School. We trust that you'll like this environment, a family environment, as much as we do as administration, teachers, staff, and school. We do consider this a family atmosphere, and we'd like to welcome you to our family. I want to touch on just a couple of things. First of all, electronics. Electronics are not allowed in the halls at all. That'd be cell phones, iPod, whether you're using your phone for music. Those are not allowed in the halls. The only times those are allowed during the day is if your teacher's giving you permission after they've gone through Mr. Moore, an administrator, to get permission to use it for academic reasons in the classroom. That is the only time electronics are to be used. If you're listening to music in passing in the halls during lunch, your electronics will be taken up, and the normal process for discipline for that will be followed. We also don't wear earbuds and earphones as a fashion accessories. Those are considered electronic violations, so you need to put those up. Once the bell rings to go to school in the morning, and once you hit the halls headed to first block, and until school is over at 3:06, your electronics should be up, put away, unless they're being used for academic reasons. We ask you to make sure you follow that so that you don't lose your electronics per the discipline policy. I'd also like to mention bus discipline, which is something that comes under my threshold of dealing with. Buses, riding a bus is a privilege, not an obligation. We do not go through the process of bus discipline that we do in the normal situation with school. If you can't behave on a bus, you'll find another way to school. That's just the way it is. And I want to let you know that up front. That's just not something we have to put a lot of effort into. Either ride and enjoy and have a good time. If you can't behave, then you will be finding another ride to school no matter where you live. And some of you live a long way out and come a long way on the bus, so I want you to pay strict attention to that. Food and drinks in the hall. I understand we don't have break this year, and some of you are loading up before you get to school, and that's fine. We do not want open cups like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. I know you like the Chick-fil-A sweet tea, but we do not want the open cups in the halls because those typically end up a spill on the floor or something that gets tracked all over the floor. Our maintenance staff has done an excellent job getting our school in good shape and clean. And instead of them having to clean things that happen in accidents, we'd like them to continue to do those things that are making our school look much better and allowing all of us to take pride in our building. So we do not want open cups. If you're bringing a bottle in with a top on it to put in your locker for later, we understand that, and that's okay. But if it's a cup, coffee cup, Starbucks, what have you, something, and when you drop it, it's going to fall and spill, we are going to have you throw those away as soon as you come in the door. So if you got to load up before you get here, make sure you finish before you get to the door. The other thing I'd like to mention is piercings. The school board, the only piercings, visible piercings allowed are those in the ears. So make sure, those of you who may have some piercings, eyebrows, lips, nose, cheeks, whatever you may have, those are not allowed at school, and you must take those out or you will not be allowed to stay at school. So make sure that you pay attention to that policy. We've already had to talk with some about that. We will continue to enforce that because that is part of the dress code policy for the Board of Education. So again, we're glad to have you. We're looking forward to a great year. We want you to enjoy Foley High School, as many of you have for years, and have a great year.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Ms. Harrison?
Hi folks, it's started off as a good year. I know it's been very busy the last week or so, but we're so glad you're here. And I wanted to address dress code a little bit and the compliance of it. There are policies in place set by the school board, and we are bound to follow the policy of the school board. But I've got to say, Mr. Moore went to bat for our students last year and asked for a little leniency to try to expand the dress code policy. So what we had in place last year we'll be able to follow again this year, and that involves collared shirts that are solid in color. You may wear those on campus yet again this year. So thanks, Mr. Moore, for that. The actual policy set by the board can be found on the Baldwin County Board of Ed website and also on the Foley High School website. So you can go there and print out the full compliance for the dress code, which is extensive. But I just wanted to mention a few things that might catch administrators' eye on campus so that you can make sure that you're not going to get pulled over to the side regarding your dress code. And you know, one of those things would be hats. We don't allow hats on our campus, and that is a principal decision, and you should not have your hat visible while you're here on our campus. Another thing that you need to pay close attention to are the shirts you wear during the school week. If you are going to wear a Spirit shirt which has no collar, then it needs to be a Foley High Spirit shirt. It can't be some off-brand collarless shirt like a t-shirt or any other kind of collarless shirt. It must be a Foley High Spirit shirt. So one of the things I've noticed this school year is some people starting to wear open-toed shoes. That's in direct violation to the policy. So you must have closed-toe shoes while you're on campus. And Mr. Tucker already mentioned the facial piercings, and basically that would be a distraction, so they are not allowed. Ear piercings only, and if you have like a belly button piercing, that needs to be covered up, which brings me to girls in see-through shirts. It's just been determined by administrators that we're not going to be able to give any leeway on that. If you have those cute little see-through shirts that you're wearing a tank under, save those for date night, and at school wear one of the collared polo shirts or a Spirit shirt, but leave those see-through shirts for home. And if you have any specific questions, any of us would be happy to answer them for you. But we're glad you're here. We want this to be a positive, supportive environment, and we love our students, so YOLO.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Covered several things here, and it may seem a little bit punitive or even a little bit negative. We're trying to cover these things in advance so that we don't have to deal with them over and over and over again. Each one of us are in this business because we like kids and we like being around you, and there's so many awesome people here. It's amazing to come to work here each day. When we have to deal with a lot of this negativity that's brought on by you, by choices that you've made, that kind of ruins our day as well. So I want you to understand that we would love to not ever write a single dress code referral. And frankly, if you'll just do what Ms. Harrison told you to do, we won't ever write one. We would love to not ever deal with anybody skipping class. If you'll be where you're supposed to be, we'll all just be positive, and we'll high-five you in the hall and say, how you doing? And Ms. Harrison will say YOLO and all those things. And we'll just have a great day. We don't want to deal with all the negative things. 90% of you, maybe even 95% of you, very seldom ever have to deal with us on a negative issue. Sometimes the small portion of you that seem to want to push all the boundaries, push them so hard and so often that we feel like we're four grouches, and we don't like to be that way. We like to be up here with some Foley High School spirit and encouraging you to do all the great things that you do. We have so many wonderful things that go on at Foley High School, and we have so many new things this year that are going to be wonderful things, that you ought to be focused on the positive and just enjoying your time here. I promise you, high school is one of the greatest times of your life. If you're not taking advantage of that, bless your heart, because it doesn't get a whole lot better. Okay? Work's work, and this is school, and this is your time to enjoy yourself and spread your wings a little bit, explore your interests and the things that you like to do, and we're here to support you in that. But we're going to have some order and some discipline, so we're going to have to enforce rules. We would love for you just to self-enforce, and then we can take care of doing things that are academic in nature. So again, welcome back to the 2013-2014 year. I have no doubt that our senior class is going to provide great leadership, that our teachers are going to provide great leadership, and it's going to be a super year. If you're just bound and determined to be involved in negativity, then so be it. We'll be right there with you, but we'd sure love to just grin and say good morning instead. Have a great day.
Now let's see what the heck is going on with these clubs around school.
Attention Link crew members, you will have your group picture taken on Thursday at 7:30 in the gym. Please wear your crew shirt for the picture and meet in the gym on Thursday. Please be on time so you don't miss out.
SBLA will meet Thursday immediately after school in Miss Porter's room 307. The meeting will last approximately 45 minutes. Dues are $20. Please try to bring your money. All interested students are welcome to attend.
Do you want to make a difference in the world? Then why not join Key Club? Key Club is a worldwide service organization sponsored by Kiwanis International. An informational meeting will be held on Thursday at 3:15 in the library. Officers and established Key Club members need to bring 2 new people to the meeting. If you are unable to attend the meeting, please contact Ms. Ann Crawford via email, acrawford@pcbe.org, or drop by room 309. Information can be downloaded from the Foley High School website under Key Club. There are 3 very exciting events in September, and service hours go towards scholarship.
Spanish Club applications are still available through this week outside room 902, or you can see any Spanish teacher. Turn all applications and dues to Ms. Shane Moran in room 902.
The Foley Theater Company will hold an organizational meeting today after school in Miss Anderson's room 402. Pick up an application, make plans to attend the meeting, and join the company.
If you are planning to join Student Council, time is running out. Applications are due Friday to Ms. J's room 400, so pick up your application as soon as possible.
Hi, I'm Shelby Hoffman here with Logan Malloy, who's part of the Foley High School soccer team. So Logan, are there any upcoming events you want to tell us about?
Yes, there's a men's soccer meeting next Tuesday.
Where?
Coach B's room, which is 407.
Okay, well I hope you have a good turnout.
Alright, thank you.
Back to the news.
Now let's see what our weather girls, Diana Shapiro and Jessica Pullman, have to say about the weather today.
Thanks, Logan Tier. For today's weather update, I'm Jessica Pullman. Now, today we're going to have a beautiful sunny day with a high near 89, north winds around 5 miles per hour becoming south in the afternoon. Now looking at our first map, we have temperatures generally around the high 80s, which is a lot better than the 90s and the 100s what we've had in the past. And only having 5% chance in the area, so we should be looking good. Going into our second map, we have a huge dry air system in the southeast due to high pressure, and which is awesome for humidity, so girls, our hair will be looking a little bit better than usual. Now, for your tropical update, we're going to Diana Shapiro.
Now to our tropical updates. You can see the sea temperatures in the Pacific, but we still have some storms rolling in to the coast of Africa, but we're losing energy due to the dry air. Now that we're rolling into the hurricane season, it's still important to keep your guards up, just like Hurricane Andrew hit Florida in 1992. Now, we don't want that happening to us, do we? No. Now, I'm Diana Shapiro with the tropical updates. Now back to the news.
Thank you, ladies. Now let's turn it over to our lunch ladies for today's lunch.
Hey Kelly, let's go to Chick-fil-A. Why would we go to Chick-fil-A when we're having grilled chicken sandwiches for lunch today? Oh yeah, and tater tots, snap peas, and fresh fruit. What are we having for breakfast tomorrow? I'm pretty sure we're having oatmeal, cheese toast, and juice. Are we? Yeah. You should come and find out.
Today marks the anniversary of the famous Martin Luther King Jr. speech, I Have a Dream.
And And for more on this story, we have our very own Lydia Williams.
I have a dream. One of the most powerful speeches of all time is made by one of the most inspirational leaders of all time, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Good morning, everyone. I want to share something that happened on this day, August 28th, 50 years ago. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood in front of our nation's capital and delivered one of the most powerful speeches, I Have a Dream. Back in 1955 through 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King helped change America by bringing the attention to the world on how unfairly blacks were being treated. But he didn't do it alone. He had help from millions of Americans. But his strong leadership and the power of his speech gave faith to millions of us and encouraged each other that we wanted peace. With this being done, it led to new laws that ended the practice of keeping people with different backgrounds apart from each other, and it made life fair for everyone. The legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King lives on today, and we are still responsible to promote it.
Last year, we started a program here at Foley High School, and thankfully, we are able to continue it this year, and it is even stronger and better than before. Tiara, do you know what program this is we're talking about?
The YAY program!
Yes, you are absolutely right. The YAY program, and that is YEA, Young Entrepreneurs Academy. And so to tell us about the exciting Young Entrepreneurs Academy, I sat down with Rick Miller, who is the instructor with the YAY program, as well as Ryan Lee, who's a former student from Foley High School who was working with this program as well. So I had the pleasure to sit down with them, and let's take a look. I'm here with Rick Miller, who is the instructor for the YAY program, the Young Entrepreneurs Academy. He is also president of his company, Pro 356 Consulting. Mr. Miller, can you tell us what the YAY program is all about?
Logan, it's a great program that allows students like you who have an idea for a business to take that idea, create a business, create a presentation, and launch their business by the end of the school year.
Well, that certainly seems like a lot. So I'm sure a lot of the students are wondering, well, gosh, that sounds exciting, but how hard exactly is the work?
Well, to be honest with you, it's hard, but so is the rest of the stuff that you guys do every day. The difference is when you put in the own work in your own business, you'll come out with your own business, something that you can keep and grow for the rest of your life.
And when did the YAY program start?
It started in 2004 at the University of Rochester in New York, and it started out as a pilot program, and today it's in 14 states and 40 locations, and this school was the first one in Alabama to take part in it last year.
Well, that's certainly exciting, especially for our school to be the first. In working with this program, how have you seen it improve students' lives?
Well, what I have seen is we started with some students last year like Ryan Lee who had an idea, and I watched them take that idea, turn it into a business, and now they work with me on a consulting basis because their businesses are growing and they're having to deal with what do I do now that my business has taken off.
Well, that's certainly exciting, and for those of you who remember Ryan Lee, he was on the news here actually, and he's done a great job in talking with Mr. Miller. He's gone on to do some wonderful things through the YAY program. Mr. Miller, I know lots of students will be lining up to be a part of this, so can you tell them when the deadline for applications are?
September 2nd is the final date to actually join the program. We have a number of students already, but I'm always looking forward to a few more joining us and getting their ideas into a business.
So for those of you that participated in the YAY program last year, and for those of you that are considering it, remember that the deadline is September 2nd, so you want to make sure you get those applications turned in. This looks like an exciting program, and it surely would be an honor to be a part of it. Thank you for speaking with us today, Mr. Miller. Now back to the news.
And today's shout-outs go out to freshmen Kellyanna Stone and senior Shelby Bailey.
And folks, that's all of your Lion Pride news for today. And Tiara, guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
Hump Day! And we all hope that you're as happy as a camel on Hump Day. Am I right or am I right, Tiara?
You're right.
Have a great day. This is the